Hello everybody, it's Lena, and in today's video we are building this really big block of 8 apartments and townhouses that we are building in the world of San Myshuno in The Sims 4, obviously. So we are building it on what I believe is a 40 by 30 lot, but I did forget to check, so I could be wrong about that, but judging by the look of it, it does seem like a 40 by 30. And we are building it in San Myshuno because ever since the For Rent expansion pack was announced, I've been super excited about building my own custom apartment buildings in this world of San Myshuno because I've just felt very sick of and very restricted by the apartments that we have in this world for many years. So I've just really been wanting to build some of my own apartment buildings in this city because it is the most city-esque world that we have, and I just wanted to build some of my own, I guess. So that's what we're doing today, and I really like this build. It took me forever to do. Like, I've been working on it for about 2 weeks. I started building it before Christmas, and I really do like the outcome of it, so I hope you all like it as well. This is also my longest video to date, I believe, so that is certainly interesting, although I did cut a bunch of stuff out because that was certainly necessary. I did not want to make this video like 45 minutes long. I don't have the patience to be here for that long, and I don't think anybody else really does, so you know, we're not going to do that, but we are going to be here for a while. So for that reason, I do have some stuff planned for this voiceover that I think is going to be pretty fun. I know it'll be fun for me at least, so I hope you guys will enjoy it as well. I don't know, but before we get into that, I just want to introduce this build to you a little bit more thoroughly, I guess. I split this building into 8 different residences, and we've got some apartments and we've got some townhouses. Some of them are quite big, and then we've got some that are pretty small, like apartments that are just basically studios, but sort of more so leaning on like 1-bedroom apartments. And then we've got some like 2-bedroom, 3-bedroom, whatnot. And then we also have like a very large house which has, I believe, 4 stories. Yeah, 4 stories. So that's definitely big, and it has a bunch of bedrooms. I don't remember how many, but it's the blue building, if you remember from the thumbnail and whatnot. That is the biggest apartment, well, I was about to say apartment, not apartment, but townhouse in this whole building. It's very large. And then apart from that one, I would say that there are 3 other residences that are more so leaning on townhouses, although I feel like the distinction between like townhouse and apartment is kind of like vague maybe. So I would just personally say that 4 of these residences are townhouses and then the rest of them are apartments. But yeah, again, like the definition is sort of vague in my opinion. But yeah, we've got approximately 4 of each. And then, as you probably also were able to see from the thumbnail, we've got a cafe on this lot as well. And I don't think that it will work as like a proper cafe because this lot is obviously a residential rental, so you can like rent out apartments on here. But I put one of those cafe counter object things that we got from Get Together in there, and from that object you can hire a barista for I think 100 simoleons, and that way a barista should be able to come to your lot and you can order coffee. But I mean, obviously it's not really super realistic because why would you have to like hire someone yourself to come make coffee for you that you would also have to pay for when this is just like the apartment building that you live in and you shouldn't be the one paying for that? I don't know, but you could do that if you want it to work, and if not, then it's just there for decor purposes, I guess. I don't know, but it's cozy. And of course within this build I classified that area as a shared part, not as a like, I don't know, an apartment itself, because it's just like a shared area that everyone can walk into and access and everything like that. So there's a cafe on this build. I just wanted it to be there because I thought it would look cute, and I do think it does, so that's great. And then in the back of this build, I decided to put a little laundry house or laundry room or something where every one of the like residents in this building can come and do their laundry. And in that room, I put 3 sets of washers and dryers, so I hope that'll be enough. But yeah, that part is also a shared area, of course. And this like apartment building, or this like block of buildings, something like that, I don't really know, this is street or whatever this is, I don't know, okay, but this build is sort of like forms an L in a way, and then with the little laundry room it sort of like forms a U shape or something. So in the middle we've got a little courtyard, and I decided to fill that space with quite a few different activities for the residents of this lot to do and whatnot. So I put a lot of the stuff that we got with the city living expansion pack. Like I put one of those spray painting area things on the ground, so your Sims can paint murals on the ground, which I think is kind of fun. And I put that little hopscotch thing that we got. Is that hopscotch? Is that what it's called? I don't know, but one of those like street activities that we got with the For Rent expansion pack and stuff like that. So there's a lot of fun stuff to do out there. I put a basketball hoop thing. So yeah, lots of fun stuff. And then obviously you can access the laundry part of this build from the courtyard as well, and there's just a bunch of fun stuff out there, and I feel like it's very realistic for a building of this kind to have that. And in this video we are going to be decorating 2 of the 8 residences, and they are both kind of small, and I really wanted to decorate some of the bigger ones, and I really wanted to decorate more than just 2, but I just realized that I did not have time for all of that, because as I did say, this was a very time consuming build. I did spend about 2 weeks on it, so I figured when I had finished the like second apartment that I just did not have time for more, and I figured that this video would already be super long, so I shouldn't go ahead and like furnish one more. So I hope it's okay, but I really wanted to furnish more, so I'm kind of like sad that I decided not to, but I figured it would just be better that way, so I think it's best. But also I really wanted to do more, but oh well. It's fine, I don't know what I'm saying. But yeah, we did decorate 2, and they are sort of small. So one of them is super fun in my opinion. It is the apartment that is located above the cafe, and it's a 2-story apartment, so it's kind of like a loft in a way. It's only a 1-bedroom, but also sort of a studio because it is a loft. So it has the bedroom which is open to the rest of the apartment, like the downstairs area, which is where the kitchen and the living room and everything like that is, and it's all just like open in one big thing, which I think is super cool, and it looks very like fun and trendy and super expensive for what it is. Like for the size of it, I feel like it would be super pricey in real life. And also this area is just so great because there's this nice view of the water, so I think that this whole apartment building would be super expensive to live in. Just looking at it realistically, because who can afford to live on a lot like this one, like this beautiful waterfront lot? I don't think anybody really can afford that. And the apartment is super small, as I said, so I'm kind of thinking that only one Sim lives in there, and it's like some young Sim who has really rich parents, and their parents are just paying for this apartment. And I'm kind of thinking that this Sim is like an influencer, and just like the type of person who does not really have a lot of worries in life, doesn't have a lot of responsibilities, and like their parents pay for everything, so they can just live their best life and hang out in the big city in this nice apartment. And that's just that, I guess. And I decorated the apartment in a really fun way. I used a lot of pastel colors and used some cutesy items, and there's also a walk-in closet, and it's overall just like furnished in a very youthful way, which is what makes me think that this is some very young Sim who is not really paying for it themselves, that they are getting their parents to pay for everything, which sounds really nice to me. Yeah, I would love to have a great apartment like that one that my parents would pay for, and I could just live there with no worries and just do everything and have fun and live my best life. I would love that. It sounds great. But yeah, it's very nice. I had a lot of fun furnishing that one because it is super unique in the shape of it. Like the shape of the apartment is super unique, so I just had fun decorating that one, and that was really great. And the second apartment that we are decorating, which is also the very last thing that we are doing in this video, is located on the like far right side of the lot when we are looking at it from the front, and it is on the 3rd story, and it's also a fairly small apartment. It's a 1-bedroom, and it has this very nice windowy area. I don't know what to call it, but it has like a very brightly lit area, and I was thinking that the Sim who lives in there is an artist, so I put a whole like painting area in that windowy place in the apartment. I feel like I'm just describing it in a very bad way, but I hope you get what I mean. And I don't know, it looks very nice. I really like it, and I'm excited for you all to see it. So it's very cute in my opinion, and all in all, I'm just very happy with this build. As I did say, it took me forever, so I felt kind of frustrated with it at times just because I wanted it to progress faster than it was, and I was just kind of like unhappy with it for a while, but I did manage to get it all to come together together in the end in a satisfying way for me. So I do like it, and I hope you all like it as well. Yeah, that would make me happy. But yeah, I don't think I really have much else to say about the build as of right now. So before we get into talking about the thing that I had planned for this video, I just want to say Happy New Year, everyone. This is the first video that I'm posting in 2024. So I just want to like say thank you all so much for everything in 2023. I want to thank you all for the support that you've shown me in the last year. Like it's made me really happy, and I appreciate it all so much, and I appreciate every single one who has watched any of my videos or like subscribed to my channel, followed me on Instagram, like liked my posts on there. Like I just appreciate all of the support. It just makes me feel very happy and warm inside to think of all of that. So I just wanted to say thank you for all of that, and I hope that 2024 is gonna treat us all very well. Anyway though, now that we have gotten all of that out of the way, I want to get into the thing that I had sort of planned for this video. So a few months ago, or like maybe 6 months ago or something, it was last summer, which is kind of crazy, but I posted a video where I asked you guys a bunch of questions that I had been wondering about for a while, which was really fun for me, and I had a good time doing it. It was basically just like a bunch of questions that I couldn't really super easily just Google and find the answer to online, and I kind of like needed personal perspectives on it. And I remember I asked the questions about like pregnancy and just like people's experience with pregnancy, and then I also asked about like cops and being pulled over in America. So I feel like in the comment section we had a very like nice and good and civil discussion about all of these different things, and I got so many perspectives on like people's experiences with all of these different things, and I learned a lot from that. So I kind of wanted to do something like that again, and I've been planning on doing it ever since I posted that video because it was just such a fun experience. But as I said, it's been like 6 months or something, so it's been a while and I haven't done it ever since then. But I wanted to change that now, and over the past many months I've kind of like been collecting a whole list of questions that I've been wondering about on my phone, on my notes app. So I think I have quite a few on there, and I just want to go through some of them today. And also, if you are curious about that video and you want to watch it and like read all of the comments, I will link it down below in the comment section. It is this speed build. So that was really fun, and I had a great time doing that, and thank you all for participating in that game. And I hope you guys will, you know, answer these questions if you know the answer to them, and if not, then I hope you will just like sit down and listen and just kind of, I don't know, go along with it, I guess. It's just a fun little game that we are playing, and some of them are nation specific, and more specifically like America specific, because I just have a lot of questions about the United States because it's a very weird and messy place to me, and I wonder about a lot of stuff that I see on television or on social media that is going on in the United States. Like it is a big old weird place to me, so I have a lot of questions about it. And also I know that my audience is predominantly American, so I feel like it's kind of like the perfect place to ask people about those questions, because a lot of you guys are Americans, and I'm wondering about stuff in America. Yeah. You know, that makes sense, right? Although not all of them are nation specific, and those that are can also be answered by people from other countries, because I would really like to hear the perspectives from people outside of the US as well, and outside of my country as well, because I feel like that's just so interesting. So no one is being excluded, everyone can participate in this game. Although before I get into the questions that I have for like this round, I guess I don't really know how to explain it, I just want to like tell you a question that I had for like the longest time, and I just could not find the answer to it. I think I was wondering about this specific thing for probably like a year and a half or 2 years when I was around 15, 16, like that sort of age, and I was just so confused about it, and I was really frustrated because I just couldn't find the answer to it, and it was such a, I don't know, a thing that just occupied my brain a lot for some weird reason, and I couldn't Google my way to the answer, and I asked so many people about it, like all the smartest people that I knew, and I just could not find an answer to this stupid question. And the kicker is that the answer is so extremely simple. And when I found out about it, I was like, yeah, duh, obviously that's the answer. Like, why would it not be, you know? But I was just so confused about it. And apparently not a lot of people really knew about this. And it was just so weird. So before we get into the other questions, I just want to tell you about this one because it is just like the perfect example of a thing that was like wrecking my brain for so extremely long and I just could not find the answer. So my question was, why do humans not thrive in really hot weather, like 37-ish degree Celsius weather, when that is our body temperature? Like, how does that make sense? Like, how are people sweating so much in that kind of temperature when that is the temperature that we are inside? Like, how does that make sense that we don't thrive in 98 degree Fahrenheit and 37 degree Celsius weather when that's our body temperature? It just did not make sense to me at all that most people are comfortable when the weather is like in the 20-ish degree Celsius range or something like that, but not hotter than that. Like, so many people are just sweating their butts off when they are in that kind of temperature. And why are we not like freezing to death when we are out in weather that is colder than that? And I asked so many people this question and I tried to Google it, but I couldn't really find an answer to it on Google when I tried to search for it. And then just some random day in my life, about a year and a half or 2 years after this question entered my brain the first time, I was just on Twitter, I believe, and I saw this random tweet from someone saying that apparently humans will die from hypothermia instead of blood loss if they are skinned to death, like if someone is pulling off their skin and killing them that way. That's a very like gross thing to think about. I don't want to think about it anymore, but that was something I saw on Twitter. I don't know if that's accurate at all, but it answered my question. The reason why we are not like freezing to death when we are in 20-something degrees Celsius weather, and the reason we are not extremely comfortable when we are in 37 degree weather is because we have skin. The answer is so extremely simple and it seems so obvious, but for some reason this was just like a thing that I could not figure out at all, and I asked so many people about it, and I didn't know why we didn't thrive in such hot weather, because like so many people are just, you know, sweating so much, and it just didn't make any sense to me. But the answer is skin. Skin is our little winter jacket that we are wearing at all times, and it's keeping us warm. It makes so much sense and it seems so obvious, and I felt very, very stupid when I figured it out. So if any of you guys just sat there and listened to me tell this whole ordeal and you're now sitting there thinking that I'm the dumbest person on the planet because I could not figure it out on my own, that skin is what's keeping us from dying in colder weather, then you totally get to think that I'm stupid, because it is dumb and it's just so obvious. Like, it seems like such an obvious thing and I should have known that since day one, but apparently I didn't. So if you are now in the same boat as I was a few years ago when I figured this out, then I don't judge you, because I feel like it's fairly common to not know the answer to that question. And obviously I have no room to judge, because look at me, like I don't know anything. I didn't even know that skin kept us warm. Like, I have no reason or right to judge anybody at all, ever. Anyway, though, that's that question. Yeah, I don't know, that was just a perfect example of something that had been bothering me for the longest time, and then just one random day I stumbled across the answer, and I don't even know if that whole skin pulling thing is accurate at all. That was just something I saw on Twitter. So yeah, also sorry for like telling you that, because I feel like that might have like put some very gruesome images in your mind, and I'm very, very sorry about that, but I just like had to tell you the exact way that I came across the answer to my question that I had for so long. You know, I had to do that. Sorry. Yeah. Anyway, on to the actual questions that I have for you guys now. So they aren't like super deep, because the last time I had the question about like cops in America, and that's obviously like a super deep and very like nuanced question and topic, and none of these questions are like that at all. They are kind of just stupid and whatever, and very simple. So that's a lot more easier to deal with, I would say. But you know what, let's just get started. Yeah, it sounds about right that we should get started on this thing that I had planned this entire video, now that we are almost 20 minutes into it. Yeah. God, I talk too much, man. It's such a problem. So I don't know how many we're gonna get through in this video. I do have quite a few, as I said, like I think around 7 or 8 questions in total right now on my phone, and I'm just gonna keep going until I either run out of time or just lose interest, I guess. I don't know. But yeah, the ones that we don't get through today, we're just gonna save them for another day, you know, for a rainy day or something. They're not gonna go to waste. But the first thing that I would really like to hear is, do you guys have a garbage disposal in your home? Because I feel like I'm very curious about garbage disposals because they are not a thing that I'm really that familiar with at all. We don't have them where I live, and I don't feel like they are super common in Europe. I've never been to a place in Europe that had a garbage disposal in the like apartment or place that we were renting or anything like that. Like I've never heard of anyone from Europe who have said that they have a garbage disposal in their kitchen. So I don't feel like they are super common, but I could be wrong and they might have them somewhere. But personally, I've never met anyone in my own country that has one, and I've never been in a house that has one. And I feel like they are the most common in North America. Again, I could be completely wrong, and this is one of those questions where I would like to hear from people from all over the world if they have one or not, because I don't really know. And also, if you are a person who is in possession of a garbage disposal, do you use it frequently, or is it just one of those objects that you kind of like have in your home but you don't really use it that often? It's just kind of like a thing that takes up room or just kind of exists in your house. Like, how does it work for you? Is it actually a thing that you use on a daily basis, or do you use it when the trash just kind of like piles up and you don't really know what to do with it and you just kind of put it in the disposal? Or like, how often do you use it? And am I missing out on something absolutely incredible by not having one in my home? Like, should I acquire one somehow? I feel like they aren't really sold that often here in Denmark, but I probably could get my hands on one somehow, you know. But no, I'm not gonna get one because I feel like that seems unnecessary for me. I've lived my entire life without a garbage disposal, so I don't need one. I don't. But I would really like to know if you guys are happy with the ones that you have, and would you be sad and upset if the one you have in your home broke at one point? Like, would that bother you and you would feel like you needed that little thing to help you when cleaning the kitchen? And also, what do you put in there? Like, what kind of waste do you put in the garbage disposal? Is it food waste? I kind of have a feeling that it probably is food waste. Like, when you have cut up an apple, you're probably most likely not gonna eat the middle of it because that's where the seeds are, and humans don't normally want to do that. So I feel like most of us are inclined to just throw them out. So do you put the like seed part of the apple, the middle of it, in the garbage disposal? And when you've cut up like a chicken breast or something and you cut off all of the like bad parts of it, do you put the chicken in the garbage disposal as well? Or what do you put in there? Is it also for non-food waste, like maybe the plastic containers that some of your food came in? What goes in the garbage disposal? I don't know. And even more interestingly, where the hell does the garbage go? Like, do you have a cute little trash can under the sink that the garbage falls into and then you have to empty it out whenever it's necessary, like depending on how often you use it? Or does it just kind of like magically disappear without a trace? Like, what happens to the garbage when it's been disposed of? I don't know. That's very, very interesting to me. And also, even more importantly, I feel like this is the most vital question that I have regarding the garbage disposals. But are you scared of it? Because I feel like I would be terrified of the garbage disposal whenever I was close to the sink or just washing the dishes in the sink and whatever. Because what if it just magically turned on by itself and my fingers were near it? Like, that's terrifying. I know that's not gonna happen. But I remember this episode of Modern Family when Lily, which is one of the characters, she is around like 3 years old, and her father Cam, he is trying out this new parenting thing where he does not want to say no to her. And then they visit Claire, who thinks that this new parenting thing is really stupid, so she wants to challenge it. And I think that she pulls a little prank on Cam where Lily is like nearing the garbage disposal switch, and she is about to switch it on, and one of the characters is near the sink and doing something in the sink, and it would be dangerous for Lily to turn the garbage disposal on while they are there, and then like Claire wants Cam to tell her no. And it's just kind of like funny because like what if someone is being really horrible to you and they turn the garbage disposal on while you're cleaning the dishes? Like that's horrible. What? That's terrifying. Oh my god. Like aren't you scared of it? And also I remember when I was I think 8 years old, I went to Florida with my family, and in one of the apartments that we were staying in I think Orlando, they had a garbage disposal, and my brother and I were kind of scared of it, and we obviously wanted to test it out because we were kids and this was a cool unfamiliar thing for us, so that was really fun. And it was so loud, so I was like, yeah, that's so uncomfortable, I'm never gonna touch that again, I don't want to deal with that loud noise, you know, like that was too much for me. And also I was just like scared of it because what if I got my fingers stuck in there? And just like based on what I've seen on TV and whatever else, I think that they are meant for mainly food waste, but can you like dispose of harder things than that? Like could you put a metal spoon in there? What would happen if I were to do that? Would it crush up the metal spoon, or would it just kind of like stop and get stuck in there? Like what would happen? I'm very curious to know. This is very fascinating to me, the whole thing about garbage disposals apparently. So yeah, that was my question number 1 for this video, although I feel like I just asked a million questions, but it was, you know, all within this garbage disposal theme, you know. So I guess to sum it up, do you guys have a garbage disposal? And if so, where do you live? And also, what do you put in there? Where does the trash go? And are you scared of it? And additionally, have you ever heard of someone who has gotten injured from using their garbage disposal? Like, do you know of any horror stories about that sort of stuff? Or have you had anything bad happen to you in regards to it? But those were all of the questions that I had in relation to the topic of garbage disposals, because apparently I find trash so interesting that I sat here and talked about it in my Sims video for like 5-7 minutes, something like that. I don't know, but I do genuinely find it very interesting, and I look forward to your guys' answers. Yeah. But the next question that I have is about alcohol in the United States, and I know that a lot of people from outside the US think that the whole culture surrounding alcohol in the US is super strange because it is so vastly different from the way it is in a lot of other Western countries. So obviously the most like weird thing that a lot of us think of is the fact that you can't buy it until you turn 21, because that's so different from how it is in a lot of our countries. So in my country, Denmark, for example, you can start buying beverages with a pretty low alcohol percentage when you are 16, so like beers and that kind of stuff. And then when you turn 18, you can buy harder liquor like vodka and like whiskey, whatever else, you know. So that's how it works here, and I know that the laws are somewhat similar in a lot of other European countries, although in Denmark they are like talking about changing the laws so that you can't buy any alcohol until you are 18. And personally, I'm in favor of that because I don't really think that it's necessary for 16-year-olds to be able to buy alcohol. Like that's just not necessary, you know. But in regards to the US, of course, a lot of people like joke about it being super weird that an 18-year-old can't buy alcohol, but they can easily just go buy a gun. Because sure, like alcohol is pretty dangerous if it is not used correctly, and it can harm you, but it effectively only really harms one person, whereas a firearm can hurt a lot of people. So one is objectively a lot more dangerous than the other. So that's just kind of funny to a lot of people, and a lot of us joke about it, you know. But the thing about like alcohol in America that I kind of like have a question about is mostly about liquor stores, because I'm curious about how they work, and I'm asking about that because it's not really a thing that we have here, like not in the same way. At least we have some stores that are dedicated to a certain kind of alcohol. Like we definitely have a lot of like shops that are just focused on wine because they are wine specialists and whatever, but it's not a liquor store. Like they just sell fancy wine and they care a lot about that, you know. It's like a hobby for them that they love and they want to share with the world, I guess. So it's not the same way. But I feel like in media I've been hearing like a lot of people just saying that they need to go to the liquor store before their party, and they need to just like go get some alcohol, so they need to go to the liquor store, which is so odd to me because if I were to go buy some alcohol, I would just go to the grocery store. Like that's where they have all of the liquor and everything that I may desire. And now I don't personally drink, so I don't really desire any kind of alcohol all that often. But if I were to, then I could easily just go buy it whenever I was down buying my chocolate and my butter, you know, like that would not be a problem. So I guess my question is it possible to buy alcohol at the grocery store? And I'm kind of like anticipating that the answer is probably that it varies from state to state because the laws are different, you know? And then I'm also guessing that the answer might be that you can buy maybe like the lighter forms of alcohol at the grocery store, like just beer and whatever else, you know? And then the harder liquor is bought at the liquor stores or something. Am I right about that, or am I completely wrong, completely off? Let me know. I'm very, very curious because that's just not a thing that I'm familiar with, and I'm very curious to hear about it because I feel like I've just been hearing a lot of people say that they need to go to the liquor store to get alcohol, but I'm just kind of curious to hear if that's where you get every kind of alcohol or if you can just like get some of it at your regular run-of-the-mill grocery store, like, I don't know, Walmart or whatever you have in your local area, you know? I don't know, that just is very, very interesting to me, but I don't really feel like I have the time to ask any other questions, so no further questions, Your Honor, I guess. But yeah, I do of course have a lot of them left, and I just want you to know that a lot of these questions are things that keep me up at night, okay? So I really would like the answers to them, and also all of the questions that I have written down in my phone are either things that I've thought about for like months and months or years and years, depending on the question, I guess, or it's been thoughts that have just popped into my head one night at like 3 a.m. and then I've just tried to Google it and I haven't been able to find the answer, so I decided to write it down and ask you guys. Yeah, so over the past few months I've just like been collecting a list of things that are weird to me and things that I don't know the actual answer to, I guess. Yeah, so that's the context behind that, I guess. So right now in the video we are just decorating the artist's apartment as I talked about earlier, and that is the very last thing we're gonna be doing. And I think it's kind of cute. I think it's pretty fun. And I feel like you can definitely tell that I've gotten pretty tired throughout the course of this video. I mean, I've been here for a while, you know? So it's, yeah, I'm definitely tired right now. And also I went back to school today and I am just, you know, yeah, that's how I feel. I feel, those are not words, but that's how I feel. I don't know. I'm just kind of a little bit tired and my head feels a little bit fried, but other than that I'm doing pretty good. I've got some exams coming up in the next few weeks and then I'm gonna be done, like done for good. Yeah, I'm excited about that. So yeah, that's all really exciting. So right now where I am, it's like unusually cold. It is currently -10 degrees, which is so not what we're used to here. Like I can't remember the last time it was less than like -4 degrees. So that's kind of interesting. I'm trying to Google it to see how much that is in Fahrenheit, just because I want everyone to be able to see how cold it is in my country right now. Oh goodness, I'm trying to Google it while I talk. That's kind of difficult for me. Okay, that's a 14 degrees of Fahrenheit, which is very cold, okay? And earlier today it was -11 degrees, which is crazy. And I have not been wanting to go outside at all, although I did go outside last night at like, I don't know, 8 p.m. I was walking quite far, which was pretty painful because I don't have a winter jacket. I also don't have winter boots. Why I don't have those things, I don't know, but I don't. So I was just walking around in my fall clothes. I don't know why. So that was kind of cold. But anyway, that's all I've got for you today. Thank you all so much for watching this video, and thank you for hanging out with me. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, please do give it a little thumbs up and subscribe to my channel if you aren't subscribed already and you enjoy my content. I would really appreciate it. But besides all of that, I hope you're having an amazing day, and then I cannot wait to see you all in my next video that I will be posting in just a few days. So bye everybody!